Let's get started. First thing I want to say before I even do my welcome, if you're listening on an audio only podcast, the audio is different, guys. There's nothing wrong. I'm not being unprofessional. I record this podcast while I'm out in the street walking. All right? Welcome to Speaking Smashinese, the world's first psychology-centric podcast that is recorded, like I just said, in the streets while walking and doing calisthenics or body weight exercises. I'm recording in real time, which means I'm out here walking right now as I'm speaking. For those who are new, Smashinese is a term I came up with in college, where I studied psychology and philosophy. It just means the language of making love, or the language of making out, or the language of intimacy. I invite all of you to walk, bike, or march in place right there in your living room or your bedroom or your dorm while you are listening. In today's show, I ask, is modern dating becoming a luxury? And I don't just mean emotionally. I mean literally. Like literally a freaking luxury. People, I gotta slow down for this. People are talking about on social media $200 dinner dates, $300 dinner dates, $400 dinner dates. That's fine, I guess, if you have it and you're in a relationship. But we're talking about first and second dates with essentially strangers, guys. All right? People are talking online about luxury, expectations, travel, expectations, like a cruise or a trip to Jamaica is almost mandatory. Almost mandatory. And let's not even talk about this constant spending. And even though not everyone puts their thoughts on social media, quietly, some people are asking themselves, can I even afford to date right now? Can I even afford to date? Ask yourself, as I always say, right? Have I ever avoided pursuing someone because of finances, because of money pressure? If you're on YouTube and you're with me today, you can see the beautiful scenery, guys. I'm at a different park today. And let's kick this whole thing off by defining what this is that I'm referring to. Because we want to say more than expensive or more than has dating become a luxury, right? It's called dateflation, right? We've heard about inflation everywhere else. We know groceries are too expensive. We know housing has become a total money grab and almost a scam. Gas is through the roof and more expensive than ever. And no matter whether you're a kid or an adult, entertainment costs have skyrocketed. But now people are talking about dateflation. You guys can see this if you're on the audio podcast. This is beautiful. I owe you guys some push-ups. I'm going to do them here. Beautiful, beautiful lake, waterfall. I love it. For anybody that's new to the podcast, we take active pauses, active breaks from walking, and we do body weight exercises. Yes, indeed. Okay? You can do push-ups. You can do modified push-ups. If you're in your house, you can go in the kitchen. You can lean on the counter. If you can't get down on the floor, never let a personal trainer or any type of fitness coach or trainer tell you that you can't do it a different way. Just do not injure yourself. You can do lunges. You can do high knees, but do something. It's enough talking, coach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 5, 6, 7, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 7, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. You do not have to do what I do, but to get the full benefit out of being a member of this podcast community, please do something. Okay? Now, before so rudely interrupting you with push-ups or bodyweight exercises, I said I would define dateflation. Dateflation is the rising financial expectations attached to dating and relationships. And yes, I'm out of breath. And whether those expectations are fair or not, the fact that they exist means they influence behavior. And to put this into perspective, this is what dating used to feel like, right? Let's think about this for a second. A lot of connection used to happen through proximity, okay? Or how physically close you were to someone. There were school relationships. There were neighborhood relationships. Remember those? Before you could drive? These things. It's windy as crap, guys. I don't know if you can hear it in the background. I'm struggling with my show notes. But people met other people in shared communities like church or summer camp. And there were other simple activities where relationships could manifest. A bunch of things, right? Depending on where you were from. Like, even if you guys don't follow me or don't subscribe to the YouTube channel, go and check out this beautiful park I am at today. I know my steps will be low because I want to take all of this in, but check it out. Today, in 2026, dating just feels different. It feels performative, or like everyone is acting. Like every interaction has to impress the other person or entertain the other person, just to demonstrate some type of value. What are we doing these days, people? These days. And this is 2026 and beyond, all right? Are we trying to connect with someone, or are we trying to prove something to someone? Now let's talk a little bit about the pressure on men as I approach another little area. Okay. Now, again, let me change this POV so if on YouTube, maybe you can get something to laugh at if I fall. Probably shouldn't have walked in the wet grass first. And I have this heavy vest on, so that's definitely a fail. But without attacking anyone on either side of the conversation, we know that because of societal pressures, many men feel pressure to pay, to plan, to, how do we want to say it? To provide experiences, right? And to some degree, men are expected to demonstrate financial capability early, emphasis on early, right? Now, not always because women demand it, right? But again, because culture suggests it. So in some ways, it's culture that is society that are making the demand. But see, when costs rise, hesitation rises too. And let's call the cause for this hesitation financial pressure. Financial pressure is stress created by the expectation to spend in order to participate socially or romantically. But like I said, there are two sides and there are pressures on women as well. So let's flip it, because women also experience pressure. But we have some parallel bars. Now, I don't know if it's going to affect I think it is, if it's going to affect my gear or not. Okay. But a different POV. Let's get some more push-ups in, okay? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, and we'll stop there. All right? Remember, you do not have to do the same amount, but you want to do. I'm feeling this vest today. We're talking about the pressures on women. All right? Okay, coach, so what pressures do women have? Well, the pressure to look a certain way. We can admit that, right, fellas? The pressure to maintain their appearance. Women have to spend on beauty. And then there's so many standards with social media, right? They have to spend on clothing. They have to spend on upkeep. And women must also evaluate safety and stability before diving all the way into a relationship. And this evaluation usually starts, fellas, at the very first date. So, while the man might feel like he is expected to spend, women may feel like, how do I want to put it? They may feel like they are expected to present perfection. Excuse me, guys, but when you're outside, this is what you get. Now, we've gotten this far into the show. Do you feel like you understand the hidden pressures that the other side might be carrying? Like, just a little bit more. And have you noticed that many people are avoiding relationships? They're just giving up on relationships altogether, right? Let's ask the uncomfortable question. Are some people delaying dating, commitment, relationships, and even, wow, but I have to say it, even situationships, because financially it feels overwhelming? Like, financially, None of this stuff is working anymore. And if so, what happens to connection? Because loneliness and inflation make a strange combination. Strange bedfellows. People will still crave closeness while simultaneously feeling like, I can't afford the process. I can't afford the process. This is where it gets interesting. Because some people are quietly moving back toward coffee dates, park dates. I'm in a beautiful park right now. This would be an excellent place for a chill date, at least to get to know someone in the early stages. And I'm talking about a picnic or just chilling under a pavilion, sitting by the water, maybe grabbing some brunch, some lunch, some snacks. But let's not forget about walks, guys. And I talked about it in another episode. I alluded to walks possibly being the new love language, right? Not saying that they are or that they could be, but we never know, right? But I did an entire episode on the benefits of taking a walk with someone on a date. Maybe some women are laughing right now. Come on, coach. I did like you a little bit before you said that garbage. Because maybe they wouldn't want this to be a first date for them. But there are many benefits to this type of date. If you're on YouTube, I'm going to try this one more time. I think my feet have dried off. Let's see. I am walking on a bar. If you are on audio podcast, I did it. Let's go. What else are people choosing to do on dates to save a few dollars? Oh yeah. Some people are going to bookstores. And just simple experience, guys. Just simple little things, right? Where the fun is in the company you keep and not necessarily in how much money you spend on the date. And this is how things used to be at one time. So maybe dating life is not failing or regressing or doomed or going backwards. Maybe we're just seeing a recalibration. That's an excellent word. Let me go ahead and define it for you in the context of this podcast. Recalibration just means adjusting priorities on what actually matters. So, would you still enjoy someone's company if money wasn't involved? And I might be a little bias, but I want to go back to why I feel that walking dates feel different. So let's bring this whole conversation right inside the confines of Speaking Smashinese, the confines of this podcast. Walking dates remove something important, and that's performance pressure. Because when people walk, conversation flows differently. Eye contact is softer. Silence feels less awkward, right? As you get out of breath, you're going to chill on the talking for a few seconds. And money is not the centerpiece. And something else happens that is extremely beautiful. People reveal themselves more naturally. So maybe this whole conversation isn't just about money. Maybe it's about expectations. Because once dating becomes heavily tied to spending, to performance, to flexing, to showing off, to trying to prove your financial status to someone. When it's reduced to presentation and it's all about status, connection can start feeling transactional. And people begin asking, do they like me or the experience I'm creating? So here's the question. If dating became simple again, would connection improve or would interest disappear? Let me put my trainer hat on and say it like this, assuming I can come up with something and an analogy. All right. Sometimes in the gym, people think progress comes from more equipment, more weights, more machines, more exercises, more supplements, or more expensive programs and expensive personal trainers and costly classes and nutritionists. When in reality, consistency and fundamentals matter most. Relationships might not be that different from the scenario or scenarios I just described that pertain to the fitness club environment, right? So where does this get us? Dating may be getting more expensive. Really? But connection, connection still comes from attention. Connection still comes from conversation. Attraction and connection still come from curiosity. Attraction and connection still come from presence, being there, and being into the person that you're with. So maybe the real question isn't, can people afford to date? Maybe it's, what are people actually paying for? And guys, listen, because sometimes some of the students that follow the show, right? And I have quite a few that follow the show, and they ask if I meant something pejoratively, right? Or like, am I trying to be funny? Am I being facetious? Like, it isn't that. When I say that maybe the question is, what are people actually paying for? I'm not talking about anything dirty, guys, okay? What I'm saying is, what is the end goal? What's the end goal? Gold. I did not say gold. I love it, and this won't get edited out. What is the end goal? GOAL. Right? I think that's a perfect place to stop. I know some of you who are part of the community, you're used to hour-long, hour-plus shows, but a lot of you have been asking for shorter episodes so that you can listen to a complete episode on your lunch break, and maybe while you walk around the building at your job with the rest of the community, and that makes perfect sense. Okay, so we're going to cut it right there. Throw some short ones in there. And we'll close out. You've been listening to Speaking Smashinese. I'm on all podcast platforms and on YouTube at Speaking Smashinese. I'm your host, Coach Sumo. Please keep pursuing the most optimal version of yourself. I will walk with all of you in the next episode. And tell somebody about the show. Come on, let's grow this community, guys. Thanks. Ciao.